We are live. We are live. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are live. And this morning on the Saturday edition huddle, I have a question for you, huddle community. Are you a new content creator who's new to creating content on YouTube and you want to know what it takes to get noticed and stand out on YouTube? Well, this morning on the huddle, we're going to share 5 important tips that you need to know and implement so that you can stand out and get noticed as a content creator on YouTube and even in a noisy content creation world. So do me a favor, grab yourself a cup of coffee, huddle up. It's time to go to work. Praise the Lord, everyone. Welcome to the huddle. I'm your host, Walter Strong. If you're new here and you want to broaden your reach, your impact, and income through online video, we welcome you to the show. And as we said this morning, we're going to be talking about 5 tips on helping you how to get noticed as a content creator on YouTube. So if that's definitely something on your agenda, on what you're trying to accomplish as a content creator, it's time to pick up a pad and a pen and it's time to go to work. And so before we get into this content, let's just jump over to the chat and see who's watching us and tuning in on Team Live for YouTube and LinkedIn. So we want to say good morning to the man, the myth, the legend, all the way from London, Mr. Ash Bolin in the house. Good morning, sir. Then we have Mr. Action Jackson, Frank Jackson in the house. Good morning, sir. Good morning. And if you are on LinkedIn checking us out, let us know in the chat that you're checking us out, where you're watching us from. Give us a hashtag Team Live. If you're watching the replay, either on LinkedIn or YouTube, give me a hashtag Team Replay. And on YouTube, give me a hashtag YouTube Podcast. And so without further ado, let's get into the content. Let's fire up the stream deck and let's have a conversation on what it's going to take to get noticed in a very crowded world of YouTube and content creation. So, tip number one is you got to bring your own unique style to the party. You got to bring your own unique style to the party that's going to help you get noticed and help you stand out as a content creator. You know, people sometimes say, I want to start doing created videos and things on YouTube, but it just seems like it's just so crowded and so saturated. And maybe it's too late for me because of, I should have started maybe 5, 10, 15 years ago. Well, yes, it's crowded and a lot of people are flocking to the platform, but guess what? You are unique. There's no one who has your fingerprints. There's no one who has your personality. There's no one that has your idiosyncrasies. There's no one like Ash Bolin. There's no one like my dear sister Florence Donald from Equip Institute in the chat, or my man Frank. There's no one like you. You are an original. You don't have to be like Mike. I want to be like Mike. No, you want to be yourself and bring your own unique style to the party. And when I think about my own unique style of what makes me is I believe it's important to bring simplicity, bringing and providing simplicity in my content creation when I talk and share with other viewers or content creators or video influencers. It's about being simplistic, providing content that's very simplistic and easy to be able to say, I can roll with that. I can roll with that tip. I can roll with that strategy. I can roll with that hack that Walter is saying. Being simplistic in my approach and sharing content that's going to add value to the person that's listening or watching me. I also think a part of my unique style is about being encouraging. Man, do we need encouragement? Man, we're living in a world that definitely needs encouragement. And so, yes, I could have took the route of being entertaining, but what I believe people need more than anything is providing, strategies and tips and things that's going to help you move from point A to point B, but at the same time being encouraging. And then also, you got to add a little touch of humor to it. Got to add a little touch of humor. And I feel, hey, look, if I can provide these unique styles as a content creator, it's going to help me to connect with the right audience. It's going to help me to be able to find the right people who want to watch my content. And so, the question that I have for you, those of you who are listening to me with Team Live of YouTube or LinkedIn, just drop in the chat one of your unique styles that makes you stand out and get noticed as a content creator on YouTube. Just one. Just put one in the chat for me. One in the chat. And when we get to a certain point in the presentation, we're definitely going to pull that up and highlight that. Tip number two, you want to stay in touch. As a content creator, if you want to get noticed and you want to stand out on YouTube and in this very noisy online platform world, you want to stand out. So if that platform is YouTube for you, you want to stay in touch. If that platform is the podcasting industry, not just from a video standpoint, but from an audio standpoint, you want to stay in touch. If you're on LinkedIn, you want to stay in touch. And then also, you want to stay in touch with your audience. You want to stay in touch with your audience. Stay in touch. If your audience is leaving you comments in the comment section, you want to stay in touch and respond to comments. If you have someone that's reaching out to you and DM you on Instagram and they're connecting with you that way, you want to stay in touch. You want to stay in touch. You want to stay in touch, and you want to stay in touch with the creators economy. Yes, more and more as we are doing content creation, more and more we're hearing about the creators economy. You want to keep your ear to what's going on from a news standpoint from the creators economy. What is Wall Street saying about the creators economy? What are governments saying about the creator economy? Being able to do a full-time online business on YouTube now is becoming more and more something people want to do. Being able to make online, and now YouTube is now slashed the monetization requirements so that instead of 1,000 subscribers, now you need a 500. Okay, that's exciting. And now you want to start moving towards you can be monetized, but there are other ways to be monetized. You want to stay in touch with the creators economy. Hey, those of you who are watching me Team Live in LinkedIn or YouTube, do me a favor, click that thumbs up button, hit that like button for me. And share this on your favorite social media platform. If you are watching me on YouTube and you hit that share button, it's going to give you a couple options. You can share it on Facebook, you can share it on Twitter, or you can share it on LinkedIn, and you can definitely email. If you got an email list, make sure you share this with your email list. Let's just jump in the chat and see what types of unique styles that we have in the chat. So we're scrolling. Here's a unique style. Florence says, I am very down to earth. Hey, when you are a person who is down to earth, people are going to want to connect with you. Real recognizes real. And when you're real, and you're seeing someone who's trying to just come with a game, and they don't even understand the playbook, but they trying to play a game, but they don't even understand the playbook. Okay, I digress. Real recognizes real, being down to earth. It's definitely a unique style. Let's keep it moving. Tip number three. As a content creator, if you're going to get noticed and stand out on YouTube and in a very noisy online world, building a platform, you got to use the art of storytelling. The art of storytelling helps me and you as content creators. First of all, knowing to be able to tell your own story with the art of storytelling and be able to make a human connection with your audience. And that's something that I'm working on more and more as a content creator. that if I meet someone in person or if I'm talking to someone virtually online and they say, tell me your story. And that's something that I'm really working on more and more, to be able to tell my story in a nice, concise 1 to 2 minute conversation, just like if I was giving an elevator pitch. So that way I can make a human connection with the person. Now, I'm not talking about telling a story where you being a character. No, I'm not talking about that type of story. I'm talking about being able to tell your story. Why you got into YouTube? What got you into YouTube? What got you into content creation? What's the story? Being able to be able to take the person. I like the way Jeff Bartz talks about on Story Greenlight about, sharing the hero's journey. You're the hero in the story, and there was an obstacle, there was a challenge that you faced that you had to overcome to get you to the end result. The hero's journey, your story that helps you to make a human connection, that helps your viewer, your audience that's listening to you, to take action. That when they finish hearing about your story, Florence, when they hear about your story, about how you first got into content creation and you were listening to individuals like Ash and Tech, and you were listening to the Huddle, and for 6 months how you were just behind the, you were hitting figures just like the movie with all those great women that with Kevin Costner in them, and eventually you stepped out and said it's time to be a leading lady in content creation. That's a story that people want to hear about. Women want to hear about, that will make a human connection with them, that will provoke them, encourage them to take action, and to stir up creativity. When someone asks you to share your story, Ash, does your story stir up creativity in them? Frank, when someone asks you to share your story, does it stir up to make them to encourage them to take action? Those of you who are listening to me on LinkedIn, or if you're watching the replay up to this point, does it stir up and encourage a human connection with the person that's listening to you? You got to use the art of storytelling if you want to get noticed as a content creator on YouTube. Tip number four, be willing to share and showcase your core values. Share your core values of what's important to you. When we're talking about making a human connection with an audience that you're trying to connect with, and you're looking at your analytics on, last night I was looking at my analytics and I was kind of looking at some things, the demographic, and they said about 90% of my viewers are male viewers and 10% are females. I said, okay, YouTube, that's what you're telling me, looking at from an over 365 day period. And I had to say to myself, of that 90%, how many of them know about my core values as a content creator? How many of them really know this? Is there truly a human connection with the audience, that they know about my core values of creativity, about encouraging individuals not to sleep on the creative gifts that you have on the inside of you? Because, and for many years, I made that mistake of sleeping on my creative gifts and abilities and not having the courage to tap into them, because I was so much into the corporate world of banking and finances and being analytical, using my analytical skills to deal with problem solving and being able to identify trends and threats. And I thought that's what made me as a person. But each day I was ignoring the creative abilities that God placed on the inside of me. And so when the thoughts and the ideas began to come to me about being on YouTube and creating videos, I had to battle with the imposter syndrome and say, do you really think you got what it takes that someone will tune in at 9 o'clock in the morning and watch you go live? You really think you got what it takes? And I had to push against those negative thoughts and the negative perceptions that I'm more than just someone who can be analytical, but I have creative gifts and ability that can encourage someone, that can bring a taste of humor to someone with a simplistic approach that helps to promote change in the quality of their life. I think about my core values of clarity and why it's important to have clarity as a content creator when you're presenting content to someone, clarity in how you're going to reach them, clarity in what you're going to use to reach them with, and then the importance of building online community. These are my core values. What about you? What about you, those of you who are in the chat? Give me a hashtag Team Live if you're with me this morning on YouTube or LinkedIn, and let me know one of your core values. What is one of your core values that helps you to get noticed as a content creator? Hey, if you're getting great value out of this live stream discussion on the importance of getting noticed on YouTube and in this online platform that is so noisy, do me a favor, click that thumbs up button, hit the share button for me. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, if we're talking about on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and click that alert notification button. And if you're on LinkedIn, make sure you follow me on LinkedIn. To my replay viewers who are watching the replay up to this point, truly appreciate you. Give me a hashtag on YouTube, hashtag YouTube podcast. All right. Tip number five, be authentic and relatable. Be authentic and be relatable. Be yourself. You got to be yourself. We said a couple of live streams ago, the importance of just being yourself. Don't be like Mike. Be yourself. Don't be like Martha Stewart. Be yourself. Be yourself. Because that's, there's no one like you. There's no one like me. It's the importance about being the best version of yourself in front of the camera when you press record. Be the best version of yourself when you get ready to go live and engage with your audience during the live stream. Be yourself. Being yourself, whether if you're extroverted, being yourself if you're an introvert, or being yourself even if you're an omnivert or ambivert. The best of both worlds. One minute you have that part of you that's an extrovert, or you have that other part of you that's an introvert. And I kind of looked at the spectrum and said, man, there are times that I kind of feel I'm more of an omnivert than I am an extrovert. Some people, my wife and people who know me, they say, oh, no, you're an extrovert. But then when it comes to the world of content creation, when I'm around family and friends, when you talk about having something in common to talk about, there's a part of me where I feel introverted because that connection of relating with people. But then when I get in front of the camera and when I press record or go live, a light switch just comes on and I feel like I can be myself and be extroverted. So maybe I'm somewhere in the middle. I don't know. What about you? Let's hit summary right quick. And then we're going to jump into the chat right quick. And then we're going to get up on out of here. So in summary, we talked about having your own unique style as a content creator. Bring your best self, your unique style and approach to the party. If you're a person who is young and who used to go to parties and you knew everybody was going to be there. Everybody who was a somebody that you thought was somebody was going to be there. But you were coming to the party. You and your crew were coming to the party, and you knew you had to come to the party yourself. You had to represent to the party. You wanted people to know who you are and be able to stand out and get noticed. And we talked about the importance of staying in touch with the platform, staying in touch with your audience, staying in touch with the creators economy. using the art of storytelling, making that human connection, provoking and encouraging change, and we talked about showcasing your core values and being authentic and relatable. That there, ladies and gentlemen, is the content for this morning. And so let's just jump over to the chat right quick and see what we got here. And so highlighting, one of the previous chats that Florence talked about in terms of, what's your unique style or approach, the importance of just being down to earth, And people need that. People need that. They need people that is relatable and that you can and that you can vibe with and roll with. People need that. Okay. Collaboration is one of my core values. Damn, spot on, spot on. Real collaboration, being able to collaborate with people is so important, and having that as a core value makes you a great value to the creators, a community, because I'm still learning in this creator journey that even some of the biggest names that we know and we think somebody is a somebody, they lack that. They lack the understanding. Not everybody, but I've seen a few where they lack the importance of understanding of how to properly collaborate. When I think about real collaboration, I think about, and I take it from the music aspect. I think about, someone like, in the hip hop industry. I think about Jay-Z, and I think about um, Alicia Keys. When I think about content creation, I think about the late great Michael Jackson and Sir Paul McCartney. True collaboration that provides and creates magic. When I look to create with someone and collaborate with someone, I look to make sure that I can do my part to create magic on their channel that adds value to their community, to their viewers, and to the project or the live stream show that they asked me to be a part of. When someone asks you to collaborate with them, is it your intent to want to create magic with them? Is it your intent that's going to produce a great experience? A great experience that when individuals sit down and listen to you together, man, it's such a great experience by both the two of you coming together. Having that as a core value, I very seldom want to use the word superpower, but that's definitely a core value, a superpower. Right on, right on. And then my man Frank says, team player. Oh, yes. Team player. Frank, when I think about being a team player, I think about being the player. When I think about sports, I think about being the team player who's willing to play defense. As much as it's okay if you're a person who follows basketball and Steph Curry and shooting the three-pointer, I want to be the person a la Dennis Rodman from the Detroit Pistons who knew how to grab the rebounds, a la Dennis Rodman who knew how to play defense, a la Dennis Rodman, the sixth man off the bench. To me, that's the true definition of the team player. Everybody wants to be the MVP. Everyone wants to be the star of the team. And hey, look, if that's your role, that's the lane you got to stay in. Stay in your lane. I prefer to stay in the lane of the sixth man. I prefer to stay in the lane of being the team player. So when the coach says, "Hey, come off the bench," I can come off the bench and bring energy. I can come off the bench and grab a rebound. I can come off the bench and take a charge for the team. Oh, right on, spot on, Frank. Spot on. Any more core values? Any more core values? Um, any more of your unique styles that you want to share? Just want to scan through the chat right quick before we get up on out of here. If you're getting great value this morning of watching this live stream discussion on how to get noticed as a content creator, do me a favor, click that thumbs up button, hit that share button, and on LinkedIn as well, leave us a comment. And those of you who are watching the replay, give us a hashtag Team Replay in the comments section. All right, so that's all about the comments that we see. All right, so we are going to go ahead and get up on out of here. I want you to have a great Saturday weekend. And for some of us, it's a 3-day weekend. Want to say happy Father's Day to Mr. Ash Boland, all the way from London. Happy Father's Day, sir. Frank, if you are a father, a godfather, a man who is truly a father figure in a young man or young woman's life, happy Father's Day to you. Happy Fathers. And to all of those of you on LinkedIn who are fathers, who are checking out the replay of this, happy Father's Day. Happy Juneteenth to everyone. Have a great weekend. God bless.